What's up, guys? I am back to finally bring you your recap on Tamar and Vince, Season 5, Episode 7, and it is titled Bluebird Flies. I know you guys have been anticipating my commentary on this season finale, which is most likely the last episode ever of Tamar and Vince if they don't get back together. And based on some recent events, I doubt that that will probably happen, but I will address the recent events that happened on today, my God, tomorrow morning in a special church announcement for you guys, brought to you by the Mother's Board, the Marriage Ministry, the Cheating Ministry, the Pregnancy Ministry, the New Birth Ministry. My God, all the boards are going to come together on tomorrow morning to bring you a special church announcement concerning Tamar and Vince, and I guess two other parties as well. But anyway, let's jump into this episode. Okay, so we have to finish addressing Vince being in this horrible car accident. Now, I was gagging because as bad as the accident was, for us to see footage of Vince taking photos from his cell phone of the wreckage was just ludicrous and crazy to me, because we all know that even if you have not been in an accident before, it's always the best to go to the hospital, get checked out, make sure that you're okay, and not be seen taking photos of your accident, because then if tomorrow or the next day something really is wrong, you will not look like a fool. Now, what I must address is that last week we were a tad bit concerned and wondering exactly how Tamar found out, because in the blogs, her girlfriend told her, I think, or somebody told her. Then on the show, a producer informed her. But we found out based on the storyline I got from the show that the producer definitely did inform Tamar. But it was interesting that she made it all the way back home from Atlanta, and we found out that Vince thought he was okay, but never intended to tell Tamar. He wanted the producer to tell Tamar at some point, which is just crazy. I don't care if you guys are in a bad space. I would still want to hear directly from my husband as to what's going on with him. Now, I do get that Vince felt like Tamar was at an event and he did not want to alarm her nor disturb her because she would probably freak out. And I know for myself, in that setting, if it's business, I probably would freak out. So it's hard because I understand Vince's perspective if it's a sincere one and not him just being petty. But I also understand Tamar's, because as a wife, as a husband, you always want to be the first to know, and you always want to be the one to be able to give your spouse the next step or some great advice on what to do next in scary situations. But it's just hard because from Vince's perspective, she was at the event, as I already stated. She would have freaked out. I probably would have freaked out as well. Well, no, I know I would have freaked out. I would not have been able to function. I would not have been able to perform nor focus on anything but the fact that my husband was harmed, even though they were in a rough space. And Tamar said, and regardless of them being in a rough space, she was still very much concerned about Vince. Now, in their conversation about what happened and their recapping of it, Vince said that Tamar was making it about herself. And she, while I'm on Tamar's side at this point, she was somewhat making it about herself, because Vince, as a husband, like I said, if he was being sincere, made the decision that he thought was best in that moment by not telling her right away. And then Tamar saying, but I'm your wife, I want to be a part of it, I want to know. It is kind of making it more about what she's comfortable with versus what her husband was comfortable with and what he thought was best at that point. So I'm a tad bit torn, so you guys let me know on that particular subject how you feel about that. But I know for me, I would have cursed my husband's ass out if I was not informed by him immediately. I don't care what my reaction would have been, I would have wanted to know. Operation Separation being on hold, I did not realize that Tamar was actually taking it seriously about moving out. I thought it was for the storyline, but later on in this episode, we found out that she did take it seriously because she actually ended up moving and having furniture in that same exact space, which I thought was a fake apartment for the TV show for her to have this storyline going on. But it was great to hear that Tamar said she is concerned about her husband, regardless of her being in an unhappy space and wanting to move out. She just did not feel like it was the appropriate time to bring this information to him while he's in pain or hurting and just was in a car wreck. Also, Tamar did make it clear that she did not want to go or felt weird about going to her album release in New York without Vince because she did not want him to feel like she was leaving him behind. And it's sad because this kind of proves that Vince does have some form of control over Tamar, because I feel like she's being held hostage from years ago when he had his blood clot issue and Tamar went to go visit her friends in Philadelphia while he was asleep at the hospital, and Tamar never allowed her to live that down. He said, "You left me and I was in the hospital," and so on and so forth. And the reality of it was that she left in the middle of the night while Vince was actually getting rest, and she didn't stay long at all. And I remember her going to Philadelphia around that time and her going there, seeing the fans, and going right back to Vince. Also, we can't forget to acknowledge the fact that Vince had been in the hospital for a while already. She was always there, and so I feel like she did deserve a moment to be able to step out and just breathe. But I realized from her reaction to this and being afraid to go to New York, she was held hostage to how badly Vince talked about her and made her feel for her leaving him for a few hours to go make an appearance at a friend's party in Philadelphia. Now, the argument about Vince not being open and disclosing his future business plans, he was a tad bit withholding information, not being very informative nor disclosing enough. I felt like that's why we see this passive-aggressive, petty side of him that we did not realize before. We were ignoring those things because if you overlook it, you could say, okay, Tamar is the one being dramatic and just being extra. This man was just in a car accident. But at the same time, he knows his wife. They've been together for all these years. I'm the kind of spouse where I want to know what's going on with my spouse. I'm very interested and concerned. For Vince to not just disclose who the business meetings were with and what was going on and so on and so forth, it was just like they weren't really a united front and not on the same page, which we know they're not on the same page, but it's not helping when your wife is inquiring about what's going on with you and you're like, yeah, I got a business meeting in Chicago. Okay, with who? And I'm 100% with Tamar. I'm not going to ask you 100 questions to get to understand or to know what's going on with you. I asked the question to start the conversation. Please fill me in, my God. And we also got to see that Vince did end up going back to the hospital because he actually really was hurt. And it was a little bit annoying for Tamar to continuously say, the gout, the gout, the gout. That was almost like a low blow. She was pressing the issue a tad bit too much with the gout, the gout, the gout. But it did prove her point that every time he has some type of medical issue, there are always some other side effects, and this is why she is concerned about him having the skin removal surgery. But after that argument, I wanted to wring Vince's neck when he said in his confessional, "Oh yes, I believe that Tamar is going through a midlife crisis, my God, and I'm praying for her." Oh, it was so passive aggressive and arrogant and just like, dude, this is your wife. Are you serious? Like, he is trying to find every way possible to put the blame on her during this season and not really owning up to anything. He's not admitting that he was hurt in the accident. He's not admitting to what is affecting him in the relationship. He's not admitting to causing any problems in the relationship as of yet. And it's just crazy to me. I just feel like Vince is in 100% denial, or he's just acting like he is in denial for the show, maybe. I don't know. I just don't get how people can have a perspective of things being okay and it's nothing's wrong and everything's perfect and it's not broke, so don't fix it. What reality are you living in, Vince? What's your reality? Tamar's album release. Okay, it was very awkward for Tamar to be able to speak her truth and speak about the Bluebird and the Bluebird being set free and her happiness and finding her happiness, even though she is unhappy and she's not going to allow a man or a husband or a boyfriend to define her happiness. And seeing Vince's reaction to that, it reminded me so much of, it reminded me of Corey, because when I speak my truth, he gets this look about him, the look that Vince gave my guy, and it makes people feel sorry for him, but not realizing that in certain settings, we should be allowed to share our story and share our truth. So while I will agree it did look awkward, a music project is someone's art. So I don't know if Tamar would have been able to be true and genuine and share what motivated her in this project if she didn't talk about her unhappiness or the state of her emotions as it pertains to who she is and who she's growing into. Now, I gagged when Vince said the Vincent Herbert brand is the most effective brand in the world. Really, Vince? In the world? Like, okay, we'll give you Lady Gaga, but where is the rest of your effective brand results, my God? Like, for real. And I'm not being petty nor shady, but if you guys have Vincent's resume where it's the most effective brand in the world to where Tamar could not find anybody to do her some justice, please let me know. Just give me the tea on that, my God. Also, Tamar Braxton's album release concert situation. Tamar Braxton, I have been on her side this entire season, but vocally I'm just not. She sounded horribly singing that song. And it's amazing to me that so many of the Tamartians and her sisters were claiming that she did not lip sync at the BET Awards. She sang the same exact song. She swung her hair and she proved what I have said time and time again. There is no way to swing your hair and do all of that gyrating and shaking and twisting and twirling and keep your vocals 100% on track. And she was not, her voice was just not right. And granted, she did sound hoarse, but was this not recorded or filmed sometime around or not too far off from the BET Awards? And if it wasn't, I don't care. The reality of it is, my point is valid. She does not sing that crystal clear and clean when she's standing still, let alone rolling around on the stage, my God, shaking her wig off. Okay, so I gagged a tad bit when Tamar actually claimed that she moved out, and I still was skeptical because the apartment was empty. I wasn't okay with her telling EJ nor James first that she definitely moved out. That should have been a conversation regardless of what was going on that she should have had with Vince directly. She did not even tell her sisters nor her mom first. She told EJ and James, which, while I get for the show it makes sense, but in real life it just does not sit well with me. Then Tamar claiming that she is going to take Logan. I feel like that's kind of taking Logan from Vince. We know that Vince's heart is truly Logan, and I know she claims it's not really that way, but in a sense, she is choosing to file for divorce and she is leaving Vince and leaving the home. So her feeling like Logan should go with her is somewhat taking him from Vince. Now, this lie when Tamar said that she was out with her friends and decided to stay at the new apartment, that was a horrible scene and lie. We know damn well that Tamar's ass did not sit nor sleep in that empty apartment without any furniture. Like, let's be real, that was so fake. And then when she said that Vince found out about the apartment before she could tell him, and she said she is just disturbed because she only told EJ and James and they are loyal to her. So she has no clue how Vince would have found out unless he is following her. My thing is, stupida, you have a whole damn camera and film crew following you for this reality TV show. Just like the producers called your ass to tell you Vince was in the hospital, they called to tell him that you had a damn apartment. It's that simple. Now, it completely resonated with me when Tamar said that she and Vince are not a good representation of a happy married couple, and her removing her ring was something that I have done and would do, because I feel like a ring celebrates and displays the fact that you are married, and me not being 100% happy, I'm not going to have that thing on my finger. I'm just not. So I agree, and I do empathize and know how Tamar feels when she felt like it was just the right time to take the damn ring off, my God. Okay, so at this point, they're claiming 10 days later that Tamar decided to actually officially move into the apartment. And as I already stated at the beginning of this recap, that I gagged because we had proof, like there was actually furniture in that very apartment. It was decorated. Tamar was there laying on the sofa. Like, it looked as if somebody, my God, moved in. And here we are again with her addressing this with EJ, and I've already told you guys in previous recaps, I get it because we only can know what's going on by her telling someone else on camera. So it's more so for us to know, and not that she really is just always confiding in EJ and James, but for her to confirm that Vince found out about her filing from divorce from the blogs just really made me gag. Tamar claimed that she called and texted Vince and he did not respond nor answer when she went to go file. So that was the reason why he did not hear it from her. But maybe you should have waited until you really were able to get him on the phone and then push the papers through, my God. But I guess it was no different because she found out about Vince putting their home up on the market via some blog as well. He did not inform her nor tell her. But I mean, at the point that you've actually moved out, does Vince really have to tell you that he's going to sell the home? Like, what reason would he keep the home for if you no longer intend to live there? And side note, EJ with this storm gray hair was just horrible on him. Like, I really do need EJ to stop wearing these darn wigs and weaves because it does not compliment him at all. By the way, Tamar did say that she is aware that she has hurt Vince by filing, but she does not regret her decision because she felt like she was pushed to take these steps because Vince wasn't really acknowledging what she was going through, nor her hurts or her pains to, I guess, make the change for the marriage to work. And Tamar did say she contacted her parents out of respect to inform them that she filed for divorce, but she hasn't contacted her sisters. And I get annoyed when I hear that they have not been informed on certain topics because on Braxton Family Values, you can't say how close the sisters are and how supportive they are of you or how supportive they aren't. And then Tamar acts like such a baby, but here in this situation, you did not inform them first. Like, granted, your parents should have been first, but your sisters, if you do cherish and honor the relationships, they should have known before the blogs, my God. Like, they really should just have known before the blogs. Now, that was pretty much it from the episode, but I do always watch until the end to hear Tamar's take on the episode. And Tamar did say that TV and reality TV did not cause the issues in her marriage. She does not believe in the reality TV show relationship curse because the people involved are the one who caused the problems. And I really understand that because I know when I addressed with you guys in the past about my relationship issues, about how comments bother me and so on and so forth, everyone thought that I was blaming the comment section, but not acknowledging the fact that we cause issues in our marriage and outside influences can make things worse, but it's never really the cause of the relationship issues. Now, I could not believe that we were able to get Vince's take because I just feel like he was over the show and not being a great participant, but we were blessed to finally get and end with a take from Vince about the whole season and episode. And Vince did say that he is sad, hurt, and disappointed. He also said that he should have spoken his heart during this season because he wasn't very open and honest and really addressing the issues that were very evident in the relationship. But I was thrown off when Vince said that he has a sense of intuitiveness or intuitivity, however he worded it, in reference to knowing that Tamar had an apartment. And my thing is, if you had all of this intuitiveness, my God, why were you not fighting for your marriage harder? Why were you just acting as if the issues did not exist? Vince did actually say that he was glad that Tamar says and is saying that she wants to work it out. And Vince did seem very sincere. Like, I feel like this is the most sincerity we've seen coming from Vince. But it's a hard call because he is a very passive-aggressive person. And the problem with passive-aggressive people and or men is that they will say the right thing at the 11th hour, but then when you make a change or give them a second chance, they don't really commit to a change. So it's hard. I do know that he loves Tamar. I know that Tamar loves him because they pretty much have said that this entire episode, but I'm not sure that they're going to be able to reconcile and make this work. I think that things are too far gone and Tamar has grown and become a new person and she has grown into who she really wanted to be and always wanted to be. And she is now a stronger woman in her own right and doesn't need someone that's like a father figure who wants to control every aspect of her life. So even if they are interested in trying to make it work, I'm not sure that Vince and Tamar are going to be able to get it right. So anyway, I thank you guys for tuning in to my recap. I hope it was all that you guys needed and wanted from me. Please follow me on all social media outlets. Thumbs up this video, comment down below in the comment section, subscribe to my channel, turn on the notifications, and bye guys.